All right, welcome back everyone to our fifth and final game of the night, of the series, of the grand finals, and thus of the tournament. What a finish that we've got in store for us, as we've got Boreal eSports going up against the North American Rejects. Winner takes all.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, I guess not at all, but it's all on the line. It's all on the line. The underdogs have found a way to not only bring this to a fifth game, but to come back from a 2-game deficit to bring it to game 5. That, of course, was Boreal eSports. And we see North American Rejects immediately adjusting their bans and saying, you know what? We're sick and tired of this damn Storm Spirit. We're going to ban it out. They also banned out the Earthshaker. Boreal banned out the Wisp and the Queen of Pain, and then said, you know what? You can ban our Storm Spirit. We'll just pick up our Shadow Fiend. They love playing Shadow Fiend. KVH plays a really good Shadow Fiend, although we did see Kikoni play Shadow Fiend in one of the matches. It might have actually been against the North American Rejects. No, that was KVH who would have played it in that match. I don't know. But we have seen Kikoni play it, I believe. In oh no, it was up against Wheel in game 3. Yeah. We saw Kikoni play Shadow Fiend. So he's a pretty capable Shadow Fiend. And we're going to see what he's able to do with that this time around. He's going to have a Lina watching his back so far, and a Clockwork in the off lane. As for the North American Rejects, well, they get their hand on the Gyrocopter, a hero that we haven't seen yet, as he's been getting banned every time. Rubik, once again, for the North American Rejects. They love this hero. Chad plays a really good one. So does Fogged, so why not? Leshrac and Sand King are also going to get added to that lineup. So it's going to be a core Leshrac, which creates an interesting setup for their lanes so far. We'll have to come back to that in just a second, as I kind of skipped over the bans there, as Spirit Breaker and Invoker were banned out by Boreal, Phantom Lancer, and of course the Boreal Tusk has to get banned out by North American Rejects. But okay, we look at the North American Rejects, we say, okay, what are they doing with lanes here? We've got a Gyrocopter. Most likely he's going to be played as a carry. There is the option of playing him as a support. Don't think that's something they're going to go for. Then they've got the Rubik and Sand King, which are traditional supports. Leshrac, who, if you've already got the supports, he's most likely going to be played as a core. But then where do you lane him? Do you just put Gyro mid? Do you put Leshrac mid against the Shadow Fiend? You could do that. Maybe you put the Sand King in the off lane.
Witch Doctor.
And he's not a support at all. Maybe the Leshrac is a support. Maybe the tri lane is Gyro, Rubik, Leshrac. Oh my goodness. Maybe you go aggro with Gyro, Rubik, Leshrac, Sand King safe lane against the Clockwork. That's pretty strong. You're doing it into a Lina Witch Doctor.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a little bit difficult for Rubik to lead with a lift against that tri-lane, but it might be good. There's always the option of running dual lanes, 2-1-2 lanes, with the Leshrac Sand King dual lane in the aggressive lane. Gyro Rubik staying safe. Naga's the final ban for North American Rejects. Well, we've been looking at them. Let's look at Boreal, because that one's pretty straightforward. Clockwork off lane, Shadow Fiend mid, Lina Witch Doctor, and we're awaiting a carry to be played in the safe lane.
Reserve time.
What do they pick? The Phantom Lancer's banned.
Team pick.
Naga's banned now. Gyro's off the table. Shadow Fiend. What do you play here?
Bounty Hunter.
Oh, but now we're going to see a Bounty Hunter pickup? What?
Pick.
This is... Huh. So Bounty Hunter is a strong pickup, roaming around as a support. And he's especially strong if you can play him against a
10
jungler
seconds remaining.
on the other team. Boreal doesn't
5
have one of
seconds
those.
remaining.
Nor does it look like they're going to pick one.
Reserve time.
Bounty's also incredibly strong when there's going to be a lot of kills in a game, which is a very real possibility, especially with the North American Rejects lineup. Track Gold is incredible. Question is how are you laning this? With the Bounty Hunter pickup, you have to think Leshrak's mid, Gyro safe lane. Rubik's going to have to babysit the Gyro. Then what? Bounty Hunter off lane, Sand King in the jungle. Sand King in the off lane with the Bounty, but the Bounty's going to be moving around quite a bit. I don't know. There's a lot of options in the Troll Warlord. Well, this goes back. I haven't seen KVH play this in a while. Mind you, Boreal's lineup was quite different when they ran this, but Boreal, they're one of the original teams that was playing Troll Warlord way before he became popular in 6.83. Way before he became popular. And KVH was playing him a ton in the mid lane, or at least that's how they were originally playing him, and then they eventually moved it to the safe lane. But wow, we just jump into this game and immediately North American Rejects come storming out of the fountain. And actually so does Boreals. Both of them want to get out on the map early. As I'll introduce our teams and our players here, as we've got the North American Rejects on the Radiant side. MSS is going to be playing the Bounty Hunter. Chad, if I can click him, he's going to be playing the Sand King. It's a little bit of a different hero for him compared to what we've been seeing tonight. Korok is going to be on the Gyrocopter. Ush is going to be on the Leshrak, and Fog is going to be on the Rubik. For Boreal eSports, they're going to be on the Dire side, and they've made their way down to the Radiant jungle. So both the teams are opposite each other on the map right now. But Jepin's going to be playing the Clockwork. KVH on the Troll Warlord. Kikoni on the Shadow Fiend. Pizza Dad on the Lena. And PQ on the Witch Doctor. These pings coming out. Oh, they need to be careful. This is a gank waiting to happen. They're waiting to see if they can catch Jepins on the rotation.
The battle begins.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. He's going to walk right into it. And yes, this is going to be it. This is going to be our first blood. Jepins is going to go down. The only question is who's going to get it. It's going to be Chad who's going to get the first blood.
Sand strikes the perfect note.
And what's interesting about this is, where are these heroes going?
And it's off.
Korok is going to head up top. It looks like he's going to be playing a little bit more of an aggressive Gyrocopter. Yeah, now we got more action in the mid lane as Chad's going to stun up PQ, and we're going to see PQ go down. Will Fog go down? Nope. Kikoni's going to have to back away. But the first two kills going the way of the North American Rejects. And we've seen the last two games, the Boreal have won. It's gone the complete opposite. Boreal's got off to a really good head start to start those games off. And now they're going to have to do it from a little bit of a different position, a position where they're behind. Kikoni losing a lot of HP in this mid lane, but so has Ush. Interesting that they're leaving Korok up here in the top lane by himself, but he is just up against the Clockwork, so it's no big deal. He should be able to dominate and control that lane. Mid lane, I imagine it's going to be Leshrak and Shadow Fiend staying here. But the question is which heroes come and join? As we see PQ making rotation through, I think he's making his way up to the top lane, as we're also going to see a TP to the top lane from Fogged. as he's going to look to
Radiant's
try and get a
bottom
lift.
tower is under attack.
Well, they didn't have vision all the way across to see where the Rubik was. Blair won't spot him either, as he's already made his way up to the side shop. But PQ is making his way up here. He did just stack a camp. And it's gonna be a really tough engage here for them, trying to get Jeppins and pull him back. I wonder if they actually know that it's a level 2 flare. They can read into that based on the amount of damage it's doing, but if you do know it's a level 2, it's a level 2 flare, you know that he can't have cogs and battery assault. And they did just get a glimpse of Fog. They pinged him out there. I did miss a kill in the mid lane as Ush got a solo kill onto Kokoni. And that is not the kind of start that they want to have on their Shadow Fiend in the mid lane. 3-0 now for the North American Rejects. Fortunately, this kill didn't pan out for Fogged in the top lane, as he did just get spotted there for a second. And Jeppins pinged it out. But now it looks like we're going to have these 2-1-2 lanes, but completely different lanes than we were expecting. Korok, putting himself in a little bit of a dangerous position. Question is will he be able to turn around with his superior battery assault with the rocket barrage? But it doesn't look like he'll be able to. Jeppin's getting kind of low on HP, but Fog not able to finish that. Maybe he could have stayed there and got a couple more right clicks in to finish him. He kind of bailed out of there a little bit early. Or maybe just playing it a little bit safe. Fortunately, not able to get the return kill. If you look back at the mid lane, CS, we can see this lane's pretty damn even. 16-5 for Ush versus 14-3 for Kokoni. So pretty even. Slight advantage to Lesh. Certainly have to add the kill onto that as well. In the bottom lane, how are Chad and MSS doing? MSS, he's managed 4 CS. Chad's managed 2. So 6 going there, whereas KVH is at 18-7 right now, and then they've got another 4 on Pizza Dad.
Your tribute.
PQ doing a lot of moving around like he typically does. They definitely do much better when he's really active on the map, moving around. Pizza Dad also moving around, and Kokoni making his way up into the dire jungle to farm up one of these stacks. He'll probably stack it before he clears it here. And he'll stack it, bring it back, and then they'll smoke. Oh, they're gonna find Fogged immediately. They're not able to get a disable off. Fortunately, Kokoni was the one leading the way there, and without a disable on him, it's kind of a wasted smoke.
I never give the satisfaction.
MSS doing a little. I'm not really sure what that was. Kokoni losing damage in the mid lane, but Ush not able to finish that kill off. Fogged didn't look like he was close enough. In the top lane, Korok looks to be dominating this lane as Jeppins struggling. As it's a really tough lane for the Clockwork. Our saving grace right now is definitely going to be KVH on this troll. He's still our top farmer in the game. The question is what he'll like, whether or not they'll be able to keep him alive in those crucial moments that are coming up soon. It's kind of that early to mid game transition. It's hard to say when it's exactly going to be, but it'll be when you really start seeing some of the bigger heroes move around. Or see, right now you're just going to see mainly the supports moving around, but once you start seeing more of the heroes moving around and you kind of see the end of kind of that laning phase, whether or not they'll be able to pick off the Troll Warlord. And if they are, that's going to be great for the North American rejects. The question is yes, you're losing your Troll Warlord. Are you then getting more farm on some of those other heroes? Is that allowing space for Shadow Fiend to get back in the game? Oh, we're going to see Boreal attempt to get a pick off here onto Korok. A hook shot in, but immediately Jeppins gets lifted by Fogged and tossed back. And looks like they were trying to re-engage there onto Jeppins, but Pizza Dad with a nice disengaging stun from the Lina, allowing everyone to get away from them and back to safety. Stun coming up from Ush trying to find the Lina, as there was potential of him wrapping around like that, but he played it smart. He went up, making sure that the Lesh never had a chance of getting in range for that. Chad soaking up a little bit of XP in the mid lane, but eating a raise while he does so.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is a problem. MSS, he's able to lane down here and kind of harass KVH a little bit, but I mean, it looks like he hasn't really done much of anything to the HP, as I just missed a double kill. Well, I need to pay a little bit more attention apparently, as Kikoni managed to drop 2 heroes in the mid lane. But yeah, MSS, he's able to do a little bit of damage to KVH, but not really. Like, he just regens right back up. And on top of that, you have a bounty hunter, but he's not getting any CS. He's sitting at 8-1 right now. Yeah, he's got the XP, so he's able to move around now, and you're able to get track kills, but he's not really contributing that much as of yet. He could certainly get a kill here on a Kikoni.
Gold for my armor.
Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe I'm overestimating the amount of damage that this bounty can do. Well, they're not going to need just him, as Ush rotates on in, and they get the kill onto the Shadow Fiend. Now KVH showing up in the mid lane. What are they going to look to do with this? Jeppins is here as well. They just have level 4.5 onto Pizza Dad, so no Laguna available to them just yet. Chad's got his Blink Dagger and Epicenter. It's an early Blink Dagger. The point where he actually picked up Epicenter at 6. So he's going to look to go and use that pretty soon.
Bottom tower is under attack.
You can't have it!
Problem is you actually don't have enough mana to use everything. So you can actually Epicenter, Blink, Stun with only just the 2 points into Bro Strike. Problem is once you start adding the 3rd point, you don't have enough mana to do all that. I think. No, you still have enough, right? 175. Yeah, 130. You still have enough. But you can't Bro Strike is the point. Sorry, you can Bro Strike, but you can't Sandstorm. Which is like the way that you're actually going to deal damage after your ult and the way that you're going to survive. But we got a call down in the bottom lane. That doesn't really result in anything. Chad sitting off to the side. Oh no. North American rejects could push up a little bit far and then they could get really punished. But I think Chad's just hiding more so than anything. He's sitting there in case an opportunity arises, but yeah, now he's just going to TP away. And will he jump on in? No. The problem is that, you know, anytime you're not at full mana, you can't do those combos. That's why you'll sometimes see Sand Kings pick up a null talisman. Early on, because you just don't have enough mana to do this kind of stuff. And yeah, you can wait until you get mana boots, but that's a little bit of a ways out. Looks like Kakone's going to be going after the mech. He actually is our top farmer in the game. He's actually ahead of KVH.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Which I actually find quite surprising. He's sitting on a helm with the Dominator. But based on the amount of farm and how the laning phase went for KVH, I expected him to be in a much better position than Kakone. MSS pops his invis, goes hunting again. Won't find the courier. But he's got Chad up here as well. The problem is that Chad ran directly into Jeppins. And now Chad's going to get stunned up by Pizza Dad, and that's going to be a kill on the Sand King.
I keep my enemies
Jeppins will
close,
get that.
and their corpses closer.
Fortunately, they have no way to interrupt that TP. And now PQ getting hit with that lightning strike, losing a bunch of damage,
Dire's middle
but he'll be able to
tower is
back
under
away.
attack.
MSS
Radiant's top
looking for the
tower
track,
is
not
under
able to get it
attack.
off. Dad sitting at 500 gold now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bring up our
Radiant structures
items
are
to see. We've got a
fortified.
Yasha. Let's come out for Gyro. What else? What kind of big ticket items? A point booster on Ush. That mech's getting pretty close for Kakone. What is his gold at? In fact, it is there. It's flying in on the courier right now. Jeppins has picked up a staff of wizardry. Four staff?
Rock it on.
Maybe? I don't know. Yules would be pretty valuable this game.
Kid, catch!
We've got a smoke here from Chad and MSS. The question is, will they actually be able to engage here? They do have Epicenter Burrow. Well, here we go. Burrow's just going to be on one. It's just going to stun up KVH, but that's definitely kind of kill that they wanted to get. Unfortunately, it will cost them Chad because MSS
Dire's middle tower
unfortunately
is
was
under attack.
another hero there for the cast to bounce around to, so it was bouncing between those two heroes. He unfortunately couldn't go invis as he was still on cooldown.
Do it with flair.
But it's another one of those value trades. Yes, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but you trade it up. You know, it was one of your supports for one of the farmers.
Boom!
Jeppins will find a kill here onto MSS. This is a big kill for Boreal.
What time
We're gonna
is
try
it?
to find another on
It's
Korok,
given
but
time.
Korok's just too damn fast. Oh my goodness, PQ overextended.
The bones will tell.
Korok just turns around. Chad's even there with the stun. I think Korok even had the kill solo there. PQ is so misstepped there. And now Kakone lets the Requiem fly. Fog steals it, lets one fly of his own. It only hits Jeppins, but does a considerable amount of damage. Now Korok able to get the kill there.
Radiant's top
7
tower
to 6
is
now
under
our kill
attack.
total. This game's pretty damn close right now. Let's actually take a look at our gold graph and you can see just how close it is. We're right around the 0 mark.
Radiant's top
XP
tower has fallen.
is a little bit different. 2,500 going the way of North American rejects. They were looking and they found.
Invisibility.
They were able to bring KVH down. Kakone trying to bring down this mid-tier 1. You got the tower down to 61, but yeah, not able to
Radiant's
step
middle
up and
tower
throw an
has
auto
been
attack right
denied.
after Gyro hit it. As, he would have had to commit way too deep for that. So the tower will be denied, but it's better than getting it denied and losing your Shadow Fiend. Getting some more items coming out here. The gyrocopter is going to finish his S and Y. And Fogged actually finished a soul ring. Getting a ward up. A little surprising. It's almost like he's waiting for that rune, but that's a long time for that rune. So it was a 4-staff getting picked up by Japanese.
Do it with flair.
Kikoni has picked up an Ogre Club, so BKB is going to be his next item.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pizza Die with the Staff of Wizardry. Yules is going to be his. PK, we don't know yet. Well, we do know Boreal wants Roche, and he's going out pretty quick. He's down about half HP. The problem is that North American rejects are in there. The call down's going to fly. PQ's going to go down. Oh, no, he's not. Wow. That heal is actually huge. Coming out from them. The Requiem will fly. They'll drop Chad. They lose Pizza Dad in the process. Aegis goes down. Gets picked up by Kikoni. Now a little bit of a right-click ward. Both cores go down for Boreal. The only one left alive is going to be Kikoni, and that's because he just respawned with the Aegis, and he's going to go down shortly after. As it's a 5-man wipe for Boreal. As they just lose Chad. And North American rejects, they're in a pretty damn good position coming out of that fight. Look at that gold swing. Oh my goodness. 41, almost 4,200 gold. Take a look at our gold graph. Oh my. That hasn't even completely updated. It's 3,000 gold. XP's north of 5k as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Tier 1 going down. Ush doing a little bit of split pushing. Managing to bring down that tower. What the heck? I hear sounds in the background. Help.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I don't know if you guys hear those. Hopefully you don't. What the hell is playing that sound?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower
We'll get
is
a
under
Bloodstone
attack.
getting picked up here by Ush. He's at 8. Charged with that fresh Bloodstone. But now is their moment. Now this is when they need to really start taking control of the game, start getting those kills, so they can start kind of snowballing off track gold from the Bounty Hunter, as well as Leshrac starts snowballing off Bloodstone charges. Those are really important for Leshrac to get going. They've got plenty of damage to be able to do so. They've already got their Blink Dagger up on the Sand King. They'd like to have one up on Fog, but really that's not really that realistic. 21 minutes into the game with your other support being a Sand King. Korok with the call down is always strong, and he's even gone S and Y, so he wants to fight. On top of that, he's even put 2 points into Homing Missile, which I like to see, because a lot of people used to just completely skip over that ability. But I think, especially with the changes in 6.84, it's really strong. You know, you put that on a support in the middle of a fight, and that's a lot of HP that support is going to lose just from that one missile. And on top of that, you know, you hit the flak cannon, and the amount of damage that you're doing to so many targets is absolutely gigantic. It's like playing support against something like an Ember Spirit when he was incredibly popular. When he pops his Sleight of Fist, you have to always position yourself so you're outside his Sleight of Fist, otherwise you just die to it. So obviously you can play around it as soon as the Sleight of Fist goes out, and you can kind of step in, but then you have to react to when it's going to be back up. And it's similar. You have to play around the gyro for the same reason, but it's pretty damn hard.
Look at it go!
KVH picked up an
Dire's
Ogre
bottom
Club. His
tower
S and
is
Y's
under
will be
attack.
finished soon. Coney
Dire's
almost done his
bottom tower
BKB.
has fallen.
Incoming!
Dire's bottom tower is
Gonna do
under
a
attack.
Veil for the Sand King. It's his next item. Fogged, placing this Observer Ward up on the pillar. This really helps strengthen.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This really helps strengthen the push on this tier
Dire's
2,
bottom
and
tower is under
that play that
attack.
just came out there from MSS, how he blinked forward and then he cast track. It
Dire's
was actually
bottom
a
tower
really
has
silly
fallen.
play for him to make, because if you noticed, Fogged had just come up here. He just come up here, placed this Observer Ward. Then immediately, MSS comes up here, blinks up here, casts track on a target that's clearly in fog, and then immediately it gets pinged out by Jeppins that there's a ward there. So it immediately gets counter warded. So that, I mean, that ward, it got counter warded, but it has already effectively served its purpose, which was to help them push the tier 2 safely. But still, that, you're going to see MSS go down here. That track had nothing to do with them getting the tower. They could have easily gotten that tower and not had a track at all. So maybe a little bit of an unnecessary play. Maybe I'm underestimating the value of having that track up at that moment, because it allows you to see so much more of what the enemy team's doing, especially with regards to behind the tower.
And it's
But
off!
effectively, that's what this Observer Ward is kind of doing. Although it doesn't give you information down here, which is what where the Bounty Hunter was, or where the Bounty Hunter was tracking, right? So that they had vision of kind of down that area and everything around here. Yule Scepter finished by Pizza Dat. Oh, KVH didn't finish an SNY, just went straight into BKB. Chad still hasn't finished his Veil, but that's got to be coming out soon. PQ sitting on 1200 gold. Maybe he'll go pick up his point booster now, as I imagine Aghanim Scepter is going to be his next item. Next big ticket item, at least. Oh yeah, he's going to pick up his point booster. MSS has a headdress. So maybe mech into Guardian Greaves. I don't know, we're going to have a smoke coming out from Boreal, and immediately it gets popped. And as soon as they see it get popped, they pop the dust. And MSS tries to blink away, but they do find him. He tries to TP. Jeppins is there with the hook. Will they get the kill on the Bounty Hunter? But with that space created, North American Rejects push a little bit of the tier 2 tower. They get a very small amount of damage done to it before they're forced to back away. Veil is now finished. Got a Demon Edge in addition to the BKB picked up by Korok. A lot of these BKBs are fresh. They're all 10-second BKBs, so our next fight's going to be interesting, to say the least. Point booster has been picked up by Jeppins, so he's going to be going for a Aghanims. He's already got his 4-star.
Incoming!
This game has really slowed down in terms of kills. The teams are doing a good job of moving around and farming together, but we still haven't really seen a clash between the two. It typically means that both teams are actually okay with the position that they're in right now. I think the North American Rejects would like to push more, and we're definitely seeing them do a little bit of that right now.
Radiant's top tower, Dire's middle tower, has fallen.
I'm not sure if they can just like say, well, we're just going to go down this lane and not care about anything. Missile's going to fly through, and look at that damage. It's a big chunk of his support's damage, or health. What do we got coming out now? Shiva's guard for Ush is going to be the next big ticket item for him. MSS still sitting on that headdress. Bogged up to 1,500 gold. Probably going for a blink as his next item. Problem now is all those tier 2 towers are down. Obviously all the tier 1s, but now all the tier 2s are down. Now you're stuck with trying to break the high ground. And it's going to be very, very difficult to do at this stage of the game against the lineup that Boreal has. So you're going to look for a pick-off. And Boreal's actually going for a smoke here. I think we'll probably see a smoke come out from the North American Rejects soon as well. Courier, in fact, is going to fly out of smoke right now. Rock will be able to TP away. So that smoke from Boreal didn't net them a kill.
Do it with flair.
Look at this confidence. Ush marching all the way up here. And then comes out from Fog, lands a stun on PQ. That's going to get them a kill. Now they're going to try to chase down KVH. He is tracked. Burrow Strike's going to land. Flash is going to be a little bit too far to get the stun off on the KVH. But they did force out that very valuable 10-second BKB charge. And they'll gladly back away after that. Kikoni now with the ultimate orb. He's got enough to pick up his second. Scotty's going to be on the way for him.
And it's off.
North American Rejects trying to stun up onto the high ground there. Unfortunately not landing it. That was a little bit of a tough engage, but it goes to show you of where... of the knowledge that the North American Rejects have on where to go and where to put the pressure on the map. So Kikoni BKB's up, tries to return some damage, and Ush is going to get hook-shotted by Jeppins as he comes jumping in, tries to force staff himself back to safety, but Fogged able to finish him off beforehand. Will they be able to bring down PQ? They will. And in fact, it's not Korok that gets the kill, it's MSS. They get 2 kills there, not sure how many were track kills. But, that's a lot of gold, 2,400 gold. Well, MSS is going to walk uphill through these sentry wards. But he does have teammates in tow, and now
Snuffed out.
one of those teammates will stun right on in. And stun up MSS.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
And Roche goes down as well, with Ush picking up the Aegis. He's up to 12 Bloodstone charges now. There's those Guardian Greaves getting finished by MSS.
Invisibility.
Quark's finished his MKB, sitting on another 1,000 gold, so the items are going to start coming out quick for him. It's a pretty valuable spell to steal the Light Strike Array. Pretty much everything that you can steal from Lina is good. Obviously some are better than others, but you know, everything that you can steal is pretty valuable, especially Laguna. But Laguna is one of those things that's pretty easy to spell steal too.
Homing in.
It has a long like animation, so the damage comes out pretty early, but the animation is pretty long, so you're kind of locked into that before you can do another animation. You can kind of, I think you can stop some of it, but for the most part, like the whole animation plays. Which I guess is a function of when the damage actually goes out. But either way, it's easy to steal.
Put me out.
Pizza Dad going down the top of it. As this is looking a little bit more like Game 1 and 2 in the series, where the North American Rejects clearly taking over the map and just kind of a little bit more dominant, being all over the place. Boreal getting picked off often.
Maybe next time.
Question is will they be able to break high ground though? That's the tough question. That's the almost $12,000 question, right?
Dire's
They have
structures
stepped up
are
onto the high
fortified.
ground. They got the tier 3 down to about half. That's going to be it. They're just going to completely back away. So they're still definitely too apprehensive about fighting even, trying to push uphill. Because they made sure they backed away well before the Witch Doctor was going to be up. They didn't want to get engaged into a fight. Well, KVH wandered into the jungle and they got picked off. This is a golden opportunity for them to try to push high ground here. If they can force out the buyback from KVH, that would be huge for them too.
Homing in.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, look at it go.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Tier 3 has gone down. Now they're going to initiate onto the Shadow Fiend, but all those BKBs get popped. The buyback comes out from KVH. And here we go. We've already lost PQ. Oh, Kikoni getting kind of low, but it's going to be Ush, the first one who's going to go down on the Leshrac. But he'll be back up.
Dire's middle barracks are under
He'll
attack.
respawn, and then there's that rocket flying in, hits the clockwork. But more importantly, Ush is just right clicking down these racks. Melee racks will fall. Range
Dire's
racks
middle
will fall as
barracks
well.
has fallen.
First set of racks down,
Dire's middle
35,
barracks
just under
has
36
fallen.
minutes into the game.
Flares here.
And they look to put some pressure on this top tier 3 tower as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it's off.
They're actually going to back away, even though Shadow Fiend's not going to be up for another 30. That's maybe a little surprising, but I guess with their BKB timers, by the time they have their BKBs up and they feel like fighting,
Dire's top
it's
tower
going to be a
is
lot
under
closer to that
attack.
Shadow Fiend coming up. You have to consider it wouldn't be this wave, it would be the next wave. So by the time that wave gets there, the Shadow Fiend's going to be back up. Bring up our items here so we can get a quick rundown of what everyone has. And that's a Dagon for the Bounty Hunter. What else do we have coming out here? The Shivas was finished, but I think it was finished quite a while ago. Yeah, he's already up to another 2,800 gold and picked up the ultimate orb. Boreal's on the hunt here. They're smoked up. Maybe baiting Kokoni here, as he's been showing in the bottom lane. I think this is pretty obvious though. Shadow Fiend pushing up this far. Yeah, look, the circle getting drawn on the map. MSS. Showing that, hey, it's pretty obvious. But that also put them in a position to drop that tier 2 so quickly with the troll.
Middle tower is under attack.
North American Rejects were trying to put some similar pressure on the top, and oh, we might have a little bit of a trade here. As Ush is going to stay up there in the top lane while these heroes from Boreal are going to start beating away at the bottom. PQ going to TP back. Ush has already taken the tier 3. The melee racks are going to be his focus. Tier 3 still alive here, but we are not the heroes as we just lost Kokoni. We lost PQ in the top lane, and then we just lost KVH. GG's gonna get called by Boreal as, yeah, North American Rejects were all over this one. And they will take it, so it was a valiant effort from Boreal eSports as they were certainly the underdogs going into this series. And they lost the first 2, and frankly, after seeing the first 2, I thought Game 3 was just going to be a formality. But then Boreal, they pulled out some impressive stuff. They won Game 3, and then they went on to Game 4 and proved that it wasn't just luck. And they won Game 4, and then, well, Game 5, the North American Rejects got their game back together. They banned out the Storm Spirit. Boreal ended up going with their kind of Shadow Fiend route and tried to play around that. They still got their Clockwork, which has been kind of up and down. I think there was attempts at movements early on with PQ, mainly PQ, but a little bit with Pizza Dad as well. But I felt like their heroes don't really synergize that well with regards to rotating around. And you take a look at the North American Rejects lineup, and it's just so strong. It's so strong early on, and in that mid game that it's very, very difficult. And against these two teams, there's been some really scrappy Dota. So if you were able to safely run a bounty hunter and be able to get him involved in the game and be able to get those tracks off like the North American Rejects did in this game, that's just going to give you so much more extra gold. And we saw a little bit of the effect of that. But yeah, I just think they just outgamed them this game. The North American Rejects were the better team, and they were the better team pretty much all series long and all tournament long. They had that hiccup, those 2 games against Boreal, where Boreal, frankly, they played well. But the North American Rejects just kind of rebounded from that, and once again, in Game 5, just proved that, hey, we are the best team in this tournament. We deserve to win it. And we're one of the favorites going into the TI qualifiers, and this is just a precursor to that. And yeah, they're taking the #1 spot. They won the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 5, and they knocked off some pretty impressive teams to get there. They didn't have an easy road by any means, and they did it without losing any games. So very, very impressive stuff. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the tournament. Hopefully you guys did go and buy a ticket to support the tournament, increase that prize pool as well, so effectively supporting the players as well. I don't know if you'd still be able to buy it, but you probably could. It's $8.99 in Dota 2. You get access to the in-game ticket and the Sven set that accompanies it. And so that's always cool and interesting to pick up. You can also go to dota2.ca to find out more information about the tournament and what's going to be happening with the next Dota 2 Canada Cup, as well as they were running a weekly Cup series as well. I'm not sure if they're going to be getting that started up again soon or whatnot, but you can find out more information about that on their site. But yeah, as for me, once again, I was Niz. Hopefully, I don't know how much of the cast that you joined, whether tonight or whether for the Dota 2 Canada Cup, but I casted everything from the very start of the group stage all the way to the grand finals. Every single game solo casted by yours truly. If you want to watch any of those games, you can head on over to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NizCast. You can also follow me on Twitter at NizCast, and of course here on Twitch at twitch.tv/NizCast. My next cast is going to be on Saturday for the Saturday Dota League. I will give you more information on Twitter regarding when that will be. I'm not 100% on which time and which games I will be casting. It will most likely be the later slot, but I will keep you guys posted on Twitter regarding that. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Once again, everyone, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for joining me all tournament long. Hopefully you will tune in for my next cast on Saturday. And, of course, make sure you come back for the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 6, whenever that will be. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.